Dear listeners, welcome back to the ASEF podcast. My name is Jakub Timothy Stojano Konda, ASEF Fellow 2021 and host of ASEF series Insights from the Top. In this series, our goal is to chat and get inspiring insights from well-known and respected Slovenian leaders and entrepreneurs who share with us their thoughts about their core values, lessons learned throughout their careers, and their vision for Slovenia regarding their field of expertise. ASEF Podcast is part of ASEF for the American Slovenian Education Foundation, an organization that aims to enhance American and Slovenian educational activities and unite Slovenian scholars, students, and entrepreneurs from around the globe. Today we are hosting Mr. Boštjan Gorjup, CEO of BSH Adriatic, part of an international company specializing in household appliances, as well as one-time president of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Slovenia. Mr. Gorjup, we are honored to have the opportunity to speak with you today.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me.
So, you studied at the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering in Maribor. Can you describe the beginnings of your entrepreneurial path? So, what was the main thing driving you at the time, and how did your studies contribute to your later business career?
Yeah, I selected one interdisciplinary program on Faculty of Mechanical Engineering where we combined also economics. So I studied a mixture between mechanical engineering and economics, and this program was organized at that time as a fresh one, and I saw the opportunity. If you combine these two things, that you have a competitive advantage on the market. And I use also the opportunity when I was studying to go abroad to Switzerland to work for quite a big group in industry, where I got also quite a good practical knowledge. And when I returned for the last exam with the colleagues, we prepared also one concrete product idea. So we were thinking either to start as a startup and to start organizing the company with this product, or go to the market. And I decided that opportunity which I got on the table to work for one of the biggest European groups, Bosch, like Bosch is, would be perhaps more efficient to learn and to do something. That's why I decided at that time to start to work for Bosch. In Slovenia, we call it BSH Home Appliances, because at that time it was a joint venture between Bosch and Siemens. And from that day, I didn't change the company, but I changed several locations within Europe. I worked in Germany for 2 times in my career, so altogether around 4 years. I was also establishing the companies in our region, Adriatic, in Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia. So I partly worked also there, and times pass very quickly. So I'm now already a quarter of century active in business.
Thank you. So if we talk a bit about the company BSH Home Appliances, what is part of the development that you're doing in Slovenia, and what do you see the biggest challenges in this field at the moment? And on the other hand, where do you think that Slovenia could have a competitive advantage in this field, or how could it be increased?
Our company in Slovenia is the biggest producer of small domestic household appliances in Europe. So there is no location in Europe in this scale. And we are proud that we established in this year such a company which employs also around 300 engineers who are working in development. So we combine production with R&D. So we end-to-end develop our appliances here. Based on let me say, requests from coming from marketing, and we are successfully also organizing together with around 100 suppliers in Slovenia and 100 suppliers from abroad the complete supply chain. And this is also our advantage, that we have this combination nearby, so that we have also local suppliers who are very flexible and partly also innovative, and together with our, let me say, engineering power on location, we can always optimize our products to stay competitive on this market where competition is coming also from Asia, where we know that at the moment they have lower energy costs, lower material costs, and lower labor costs.
Can you share with us how much, as an international company, what percentage of your profits you put into R&D?
Yeah, we invest around 4% of turnover to R&D, which is, let me say, I think also benchmark in our industry.
So how important is the use of, or how you would assess how important is the use of artificial intelligence for development in your company, for R&D in your company? So artificial intelligence and digitalization of business processes, especially like warehouse automation and so on. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Every industry revolution brings a lot of opportunities. Also, the last one, we are using step by step all the novelties which are on the market. You mentioned artificial intelligence. This is used also in our engineering process, where we, let me say, collect automatically all the data coming from assemblies, and then use artificial intelligence who tell us what to check before we pack the products. Yeah. Up to now, this was done by engineer who tried to, with analytics, define which measurements we have to do on the final appliance before we put it in the packaging. And now we are using, for example, artificial intelligence, who is, let me say, more smart and capable than one employee. This is only one case. We have also another cases on different areas. So we are using digitalization and artificial intelligence smartly, and step by step we are learning where does it make sense. Also, automatization, when the first robots came, we didn't use it in the full scale, because sometimes you lose the flexibility if you make it everything automated, and so we have to be smart how to do it.
Are you also facing staff shortages, and if so, how are you tackling this, and how are you building up the level of knowledge of your employees in this technologically, it's a fast paced and ever changing world?
Yeah, in my period we grew up for 20 times. Yeah? So we were employing every year people. We are at the moment a little bit below 2,000 employees, and we are known as a good employer. So up to now, we didn't have huge difficulties to find people to work for us. As Bosch, for sure, we are a brand name which is known that we take care for our employees. For example, most of the engineers are coming to us with either directly from university or really with not a lot of knowledge, and then we have a systematic approach how to build up the competences which we need, and this also increases then the loyalty of employees. We all respect what we get from the company, and then also loyalty is there. So we don't have a huge fluctuation. Bosch is known that you start as a kid and then you go to the pension at Bosch. But for sure, Europe is, we have to be frank, facing this problem due to the age structure, and I think every company has to take care for the employees, and we have to be also open to certain migrations, not to be afraid too much.
I'd like to talk about the floods this year in Slovenia, which also affected the Savinja region, or like also Nazaré. And my question here would be, did the company suffer any material damage, and did the natural disaster pose any problems for operations as a result of employees' workloads with their domestic problems?
Yeah, these floods were, let me say, the biggest natural catastrophe in Slovenian history. As far as we know, it hit us severely, and so we were in 1 hour under the water. In the factory there was 2-meter high level of water, and after the water went out of the factory, it left around 20,000 cubic meter of mud. So every production line, warehouses were completely destroyed. So we were 2 years ago Factory of the Year in Europe, in Slovenia, and then entering in the next day in the factory, it was really emotionally not easy topic. Because thinking on around 2,000 employees and their families, and connected around 3,000 employees at suppliers who are quite dependent on our business, it was really a big issue how to then start over the night with the cleaning, and we were really surprised about engagement of our employees. They came, although they have some topics at home to start with the cleaning. First 200 employees, and then we had a rhythm of 500 employees in 2 shifts who cleaned more or less in 2 weeks this situation. And then we have, as an international company, also specialized partners who came then and started to instruct us how to clean all the assembly lines, because alternative to buy new one was not possible, because you have wait 1 year to get it, and then you're out of the market, so you're dead. And this was a process which still lasts. So we are not on 100% back. It will last until the year end to clean every details together with our suppliers of production equipment, and then we will be fully operational. So we lost a little bit turnover also. Luckily, we had for around 2 months also stock around the globe. Yeah, we are selling from Slovenia to the global market, also to China and States. And altogether, I think we will use now also, let me say, this situation as opportunity, because now we have opportunity to make a new layout in the factory, more efficient one. We will tackle also the new law or recovery after the floods, perhaps to move part of the production to the more flood secure area nearby. And I believe that we will be all much stronger after what happened.
So it's likely that in the event of situations such as this natural disaster, a very difficult part is to be played by the management of the company or by the director, because they are faced with many personal traumas of the employees. So did you face something like this? What do you consider most challenging for you in this regard at that time, or perhaps still today?
Frankly speaking, I don't know where I found energy from 4th of August onwards, because I'm working, let me say, around 12 hours every day since the flood happened, and around 180 employees were affected also at home. 8 cannot live in their houses. I visited with my colleagues most of the employees at home also to ensure them that working place will be there, that they should not be afraid about that. And we supported also with financial package very quickly the recovery at homes. And together with employees, when we were cleaning, we are much more connected now than perhaps before. So saving our working place was our main task. And here we showed also a high level of innovations. Yeah? So I could not imagine how many quads our employees had at home, because we were cleaning also with their equipment the factory. So it was really, at the end of the day, nice experience. Yeah. So I could not imagine any country in Europe, when I spoke with some colleagues of me at Bosch from other countries, where people are so motivated and loyal for the company, as happened here. And so nobody later on, when we were partly still cleaning and putting the walls back, and nearby we assembled already the products, nobody complained. Yeah? So you have to imagine that to be 2 months without a toilet, to be 1 month without the water, and nobody complained to use the mobile toilets outside of the factory, and to eat sandwiches more than 1 month. There were no canteen for that period. So it was very tough time. I could compare it to similar to one situation, perhaps as a war, but really this showed huge empathy from everybody.
To turn back to the operation of the company, what do you consider? Can you share with us how much share of the European market do you, as a multinational company, cover with your products, and what do you consider as the greatest potential for development in your sector? So in home appliances in general.
BSH is market leader in Europe with around 25% market share. So we define also somehow this market with all our innovative products. Nowadays, you know that products are connected together. They speak with us, and I think in this area there will be also in the future some steps further on. Yeah, I think within the smart home appliances will lead. Or will have a special role also in the future, where we have to be also very focus is to be CO2 zero emission location, as we will be very soon in our factory in Slovenia in 2 years. At the moment, we are as a Bosch zero CO2 neutral, and we have to then take care also for the complete supply chain, how to do it, and to be more environmentally friendly as perhaps up to now. And this is, I think, also our role, which we need to take care and to be benchmark also for the others, that it makes sense.
Yeah, so that really well connects to the next question. So your company focuses a lot also on sustainable development, let's say on green production.
Exactly.
Okay, so you were also president of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Slovenia. Can you share with us what you consider to be your greatest success and your biggest challenge in this role?
I set up a strategy for 7 years at that time. Yeah, so to make value-added growth for around 40%, from at that time 37,000 euros per employee towards 60,000 euros per employee from 2017 until 2025. And I'm very proud that we, with this strategy, we started kind of a mindset change in our business sector, that we are not satisfied with the average and we would like to perform or outperform, let me say, because I strongly believe in Slovenia we have a great fundament of knowledge from the past. In industry, we have quite a lot of diversity, and not just industry, also the service, and with certain legislation changes to reduce, for example, labor tax, or also to start with dual educational system and certain strategic projects like third highway access or second railway corridor. I think we helped a little bit that this strategy will become realistic now in 2 years, because we are close to these targets which we defined at that time. And what I'm mostly proud is that I tried to persuade all stakeholders that we need to talk to each other and to act as a partners, not as a warriors. I think in every society, everybody has own role, but important is that we connect and understand each other. Sometimes you have to understand the unions, you have to understand also the company owners, and you have to understand also the politicians. So it's important to have a good level of communication with each other. And after 4 years, I think I contributed a little bit towards this, because as mentioned, our targets was not just higher value added or profitability, but also salary increase. And then we had also huge support at that time from unions, because they understood that we are fulfilling also their targets. And this was always in front of my eyes to have win-win situations.
When talking about the Chamber of Commerce, so let's touch on Slovenia a little bit in general. My question here would be, where do you see the biggest challenge facing entrepreneurship or business in Slovenia? And in what way should the state listen more to entrepreneurs, and how to encourage the general development of entrepreneurship in Slovenia? Also in comparison perhaps with other countries, so you have international experience.
Every country has certain specifics. It's not so easy to compare. In Slovenia, still we are a little bit conservative with certain topics. If you want to build in certain areas, it takes years to get all the papers. This is, for example, a topic where we sometimes don't understand why does it take it so long. Legislation is not perfect. We know that we are 33 years old as our own state. So our legislation needs to be a little bit adjusted, that such a processes are not taking so long. When we discuss about building one road or putting one factory on one plot. On the other side, for business, it's also important to have a predictive environment, not to have changes with every government which comes. that we optimize certain taxes for labor costs, but then it changed again. Yeah? So this is for business not a good signal when you have always to count what makes profitable or what not. Yeah? So a little bit more stability will be also helpful here. Yeah? So this could be, let me say, the main issues. Then on the field of educations, there are a lot of voices where companies would need, for example, more expertise in practice from the students, and then we are facing that we need to show, let me say, practical experience when they are already working and not before when they are studying. So this debate is also quite long, that we are not, in comparison to the German educational system, so successful. So these three areas I would perhaps put it out in general, but as a manager, I'm satisfied with this environment. Otherwise, I would not be able to develop our company so successfully in all these years. And parallelly to our company, which belongs to the division in Bosch Household Appliances, we are at the moment building the second one, which belongs to Bosch Rexroth, dealing with industrial engineering technology in Slovenia. So Bosch will have very soon 2 big factories here, and this is also a signal that we are, in general, very satisfied with this environment.
So there's a reason to be optimistic.
For sure.
We wish you all the best in the future and that all your aspirations come true. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. And dear listeners, we thank you as well for joining us today. As always, you are kindly invited to tune in to the next episode.